And welcome to Let's Show Now. We are not available on uh, StreamYard. No surprise. That's fantastic. But we are here in wonderful OBS. It's almost as if by magic we have gone back to the past. Editor, if you're editing this, I'm so sorry. Pete, good luck with that, buddy.
Did we ever try and stream via Discord before? Was that a single experiment or something?
No, I mean it's panic.
It's
Pure. Oh my god, we don't know what to do.
Yep. Google Cloud Platform, which hosts the system that we use, has gone down, it seems, in some way. So we've put this together with minus 10 minutes to go.
Oh god.
Be impressed.
I think we can be quite happy with that. We've been later when everything's working.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I wish I could remember the password to Let's Drone Out so I can log in.
Oh well, never mind. We're online now.
Log in what?
I don't know. Have you been flying this week, Harry?
No. It's been a victim of circumstance. I had real life stuff going on, which has taken up my time, and I haven't been able to go out anywhere, unfortunately, which is a shame because I've missed some good days. I've also missed some rainstorms as well. But and I was thinking about going out tomorrow, but then I'm like, oh, well, I need to finish a build. I need to finish editing something, so I might just do that instead, and then I'll have multiple things to take with me. So it's like, do you rush job it and try and get the wing up again, or do you sort of build some stuff and have a bit more to play with and maybe a bit more time?
Have you solved the noisy wing problem?
Yes. I added in a capacitor and I did a quick test with it, and I didn't get the really bad interference and the OSD didn't disappear. So that seemed relatively good. So I want to go and try that. I managed to mount the camera in backwards or upside down. Then backwards would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? It's like, oh, I'm looking towards this flight controller for some reason. Yeah. I accidentally put it in upside down, so I've corrected that now. So that's ready to go. But it'll probably be a next week thing if I can find a spot in next week. The whole of June is just like there's little events peppered all through the calendar, which even if it's just a small thing, like I have to have a blood test. But for me to have a blood test, I have to take diazepam. That means for 4 hours, I'm just like going around going, aren't the lights pretty and things like that, so I don't pass out. So that takes the whole day up.
That one's pretty good going. Yeah, that'll cook you quite nicely.
Today I couldn't go out because I went to the New Forest water park because my daughter likes to get me birthday presents where she tries to kill me by plunging me into cold water and making me jump off inflatable things into other inflatable things.
It's not your birthday yet, is it?
It was last month.
Oh yeah.
You did say something. I think you said happy birthday.
Yeah. Frank's is this week, isn't it?
Oh,
Saturday.
It is. It's this Saturday. I'm going to be at Western Park, hopefully with Greg from Venice and Andy RC and anyone else I can find there. So if you're coming to Western Park, hello.
Tell Greg I miss him and claim that I am struggling with life at the moment, as you can imagine. It's terrible.
Yeah, it might be a slightly soggy Western Park by the looks of all the storm alerts I keep getting this week, being like, oh, everywhere there's going to be a thunderstorm.
It's very changeable, isn't it?
Mm.
Like, I get the feeling like the weather forecasting hasn't come on within like the last 100 years, despite all this amazing parallelism in, oh, that's a word I can't say, parallelism in computing power, and the weather people have quite a lot of them. Mostly, when you look at like what's tomorrow's forecast going to be, it's like that's wrong, and then at some point they look out the window and say, "Shit, it's sunny," and they update it on the app. That's as far as I can see they ever do. So we had like a storm warning today when we were supposed to be jumping up and down in the water, which may have been a bad idea. But instead we had sun, a sprinkling of rain, and the sun came out. So weird.
I'm still gonna go. So, I mean, I have waterproof trousers. I'll be wearing those.
You can waterproof everything.
Stephen,
Exactly.
are you just listening? Are you lurking?
I'm lurking. I'm at desk. I was working downstairs, and I'm still working. And there's people bashing holes in walls and setting up air conditioning units here, so it's all a bit noisy.
Oh dear. You might have been called away to fix the internet that's broken.
That's definitely out of my hands. I'm sleep deprived and have this like ache behind my eyeballs that's not going away. So
Oh dear.
I'm sort of stepping away from anything breakage related right now.
I'm still excited to maybe see your lovely installs of your mesh network, because it was looking good. It was looking promising, man.
Who's got a mesh network?
Tony's in the chat
You.
and saying, "Jack, your microphone is low."
Yeah, I
I
know.
can hear him fine.
I know. It means cranking it. There you go. Is that better? Tone, I don't know what else you want me to do. Sorry.
It's out now.
Oh, tail scale, you mean?
You
Yeah, I've been
can-
messing around.
You can right click on me and then turn my volume down. I can't do it because yeah.
It's only so many controls Jack has access to at the moment.
Well, no,
with-
it will blank out the screen with my settings. So if you right click on me, you know the list on the left hand side. If you right click, and then you can change my volume. If you can't work it out, just say and I'll do it.
Well,
I'll do
I
it,
did
don't
something.
worry.
For me, it sounds fine.
Sounds fine. All good.
There you go.
Yep.
Done. How's that? Is that better?
Seems all right. Anybody else been flying anywhere?
Yeah, I went flying. I went flying Tuesday.
Nice. What did you fly?
I went out. I went back out with the. I took two quads. I took the Betaflight quad, which is here. I'm slowly getting used to the new bag. I'm enjoying it. It's right there. I don't know where you can see it. It's kind of darkness. Went out with this. This did not let me down. It flew. It worked. Last night, I had a little bit of a. Do you know what? I'm going to stick a new diversity receiver. It being good. If the Betaflight quad is well behaved, the Betaflight quad gets nice things. And it behaved. So it's gone from an EP1 to a Maytech diversity receiver. Still got shitty antennas on it, made by Happy Model. They are the worst pieces of crap in the world. But I flew this, it worked, it was good. However, the KISS V2 with the it takes half an hour to get a GPS lock quad, as you know, I was having OSD problems, and I thought it might have been the OSD harness. I replaced the OSD harness with a new one. I then didn't have any video. Even though I tested it on the bench and I had video, and I screwed it all together and it still had video, and I plugged it in and I hovered it in my room, it still had video. As soon as I strapped it to my bag, I went to the field, I didn't have any video. I can't work out what its problem is because it was definitely getting power, and all the wires had continuity. But in the end,
Is it the same problem you had on Friday with Dom's quads? It was very entertaining.
oh,
I
what
found this
the
very
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, you knocked it out of the park with the OSD. No, the screen. No, it was. I think, and I it's not 100% sure. I think it was some sort of weird wire ground problem, but it was still getting power, or the video cable had a break in it to the VTX. It's the only thing that it could be, because I desoldered the camera, tied it to my horrible test rig of Doom, with like it's got like a little thing, and I can add a solder pad to it. My desk looks like a bomb has hit,
And
and
doesn't it though?
yeah, I know it especially looks pretty fucked.
Set fire to the acetone, it'd tidy it all up.
Oh god, I've got I've been I've been making I've been playing
That's
with
a
Chris G
What's that?
cells again.
little Lion pack that you've
Yeah.
It's just sitting there, all wired up, but nothing insulating anything by the looks of it.
No, it is a explosion waiting to happen.
Oh, fun.
Speaking of explosion waiting to happen, Dippy Dan bought some of the cells that you recommended.
Oh, the EV 70 amp ones.
Yes, I have them. I also have a spot welder that I'm borrowing from the lovely Tom. He brought it round. I haven't been brave enough to plug that in and use it. So, yeah, I desoldered the wires to the VTX and threw them in the bin and used new wires, and it seems to be working.
Now they say can't hear Jack. Me too. Although Caroline is responding to what you're saying, so no, I'm suspicious of the chat. I think they're
We can both hear him.
making
Okay.
some kind of joke.
Yeah. And it's still in, I don't know, refresh your page tone. I don't know what else to.
Oh, never mind. Caroline confirms can hear you all. So it's your end, Tony.
Yeah. I don't know what you want from me, Tone. Yeah, so all in all, yeah, like quite interesting. I think I was supposed to fly today, but it did not happen. I did not see the person I was going to fly with. I've got rid of my old bag. Rudy took it. Rudy now has my old bag.
Nice.
So I am fully locked in to the Mr. Steve bag. I have now got a Blue Jay ESC with BRLES, and I have picked up, with permission for Dom, an F4 flight controller, and I've been playing with a GPS.
Ooh.
I have, in my last ditch attempt, I have bought an 8-inch Shugon frame. It's not Shugon Pro. I couldn't get hold of one of those. The only guy that's got one of those, the Shugon Pro V2, he wants £500 for it, and it has on eBay, and I'm like, mate, you are smoking crack.
It's so rare. One of a kind. What is a Shugon frame? I'm not familiar with this.
I would play the video, but like back in the day, Frank, I don't know whether you want to share. You share because it'll be easier. In the old flight test video where they go to France in the like something valley, and they're on a paddle boat.
I remember they flew down some river, and was that the
Yes.
same one where they flew over some sort of field of whatever flowers or something? Down
Yeah.
there?
It's a really, really old, but basically that the quad. It's a foldable arm immersion RC 8 to 10 inch.
Ah, yeah,
It's,
I remember this thing.
Yeah, and the arms don't like fold in or back; they swing round on each other. And I've held back some Sunny Sky motors, which probably won't work. I'll probably end up having to get some sort of weird T-motor motors, or some sort of weird, like, long range quad motors. To be fair, Caroline Tyler in the chat, I'm probably going to be hitting you up whenever I have a problem. I'm not going to lie. I know you haven't asked for this. But yeah, for some reason, I've marked your card as, if I need help doing this, I'm going to talk to you. I don't know why it's become your problem. You had no pre-warning that.
What's happened here? Is
Yes.
Screen share? Or...
Yeah, mine's the shittier one of that. And mine isn't black, it's got red. And I haven't got the gimbal.
Do I have to look on YouTube to see?
No, you have to click on the extra person and go watch stream.
Oh, watch stream. Okay, do that. I remember this one. This was back in the days when, like, foldable frames are really interesting. They make things small, and does it come with the gimbal, or is that something?
No, I can't. I can't get the gimbal. I can't get the Shogun Pro. I can't. One company claims to have it. I can't find them anymore, and they wanted 250 quid for the frame, and they want 250 quid for the gimbal. If I go to the
collector's item.
I know.
It's just old.
I know. If I go to the guy on eBay who's got it for sale, it means that I get a load of other stuff, like Easy UHF. I got the original DJI stuff that you can't... Windows won't let you run without, like, root disabling all the security. It is, like... It views that software. I don't even know if you can download it anymore. It views it as like a pure, just virus. So like, my friend Rudy, who got the bag, he's got a DJI Wukon or whatever it's called, and apparently he can't log in and do anything with that. So, and I'm not using Immersion RC Easy UHF CPPM, and I'm not using DJI Fly Back to China. I'm not even, guess what? I'm not even going to put iNav on it. Pavel, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. In my heart, I would like to run iNav, but I'm going to go with Arducopter because I need to learn it more. I'm doing it for Chris G.
You want the full spreadsheet there at all times.
Yeah.
You want compasses crazy, just burnt into your goggles.
Yep. I'm doing it for Chris G. I'm doing it for Painless. I'm gonna do Arducopter. And if I fail, I will get an Arducopter tattoo on my butt.
Nobody failed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if I can find it. I'm going to look for something. Please hold. Talk amongst yourselves.
Caroline Tyler says she's just thrown out a 3-axis gimbal like that.
No! Dig it out the bin for me.
Throw away nothing. Just send it to Jack. That's the answer.
Yeah, don't do it. Oh, last month.
I mentioned before. Last Friday, you, me, and Dom went flying.
Yeah, I've got sunburnt so bad. My arms are still warm. If anyone's got any old shit that will be good for that thing, let me know. Save it. I'll pay for postage. Let me know. I can send you PayPal if you want to donate stuff to the cause. But I've got a I need a gimbal. I've got a VTX. I've got I've got the Maytech board that Stephen got me. I'm gonna try and repair my 4-in-1 ESC. If that doesn't work, I've got uh uh pocket rockets, whatever they were called. I've got 30 amp ones of those that I'll have to add capacitors to because they'll probably explode. I've got shitty, barely holding it together Emax motors.
I'm back with a show and tell.
Yep.
I think I
Go
mentioned
for it,
this last week. This is my idea of a compact folding quad that I did fly.
Compact is not the first words that comes to mind when you put
it
that
was
on screen.
when the default was like the the 450s.
10 years ago.
And these arms come out. In there is an original NASA version 1. We've got
did you mod it so it had the Pro software or whatever, or is it just standard?
No, the first one, because it wasn't the light.
Yeah.
It was the standard one, which I think had all the features. It's even still got the old Immersion RC VTX there, and I even made these things so I could like unwind this like this.
Oh, and fold it down.
Fold it down.
I mean,
so compact.
It's got is that a Free Sky long range, or is it the other one? Is it the LR long range, or is it the normal X whatever?
I think this is the X thingy because I'm using like at least 14 of the channels because I mapped loads of them to this 3-axis gimbal here. So just in case I want to randomly do this and stuff. And these are DJI motors, 2312 ones, and it even have spinny props that you just spin on, and they go tight. This was my brilliant, yet slightly flawed, very compact and easily take around quad. And this is the one that I had on a backpack, which was like, if my back's there, the backpack's here, and this is here, weighing 2.5 kilograms. And did I have a bad back at the end of that? But yeah, it's still. I must try flying this again, just for funsies, just to see what would happen. I remember it flying over a cliff and looking down on the gimbal, and so suddenly it veered off somewhere, and it's like, uh-oh, what's going on? I don't know. I don't like it. But the frame is quite a cheap thing from Hobby King, a Quantum XJ thing, whatever that is. But yeah. It did work. It did the job. It looks bloody massive when it's folded out, but you have to take these little things out and spin those out.
I like your style, Clive. That is genius. That is, oh my god. Atom RC gimbal for fixed wing 2-axis. Very interesting. That could work. I could take that apart. No, the stabilizer.
That's just two servos with a bit of 3D print between them, right?
Yeah. Is that
the servo ones aren't as nice.
Yeah,
they tend to be a bit jerky.
Yeah, we need a proper You're gonna have to find. We're gonna have to find some. I'm gonna have to be like flying tech. Gonna have to go through like some of the people. I mean, I spoke to Ian from Orange RX. That's who sold me the 8, and I went, "Can I have this for this?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "I will sing your praises on Let's Drone Out." Ian,
somewhere I have from when I wanted to put a camera underneath a kite. I have some kind of brushless gimbal thing from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. If anyone's got any old shit that will make this work, let us know.
I think it's still got a Dean's connector on it. if you can get some use out of that, then you're very welcome to it.
Yeah, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. It is basically a foldable. I'm building a foldable shitcopter. Tony, 6S baby, shitcopter V2. Here we come.
6F.
Maybe if we could fix the FETs on the Biaheli ESC.
I mean, good luck with bloody RD pilot though. I hate that thing. It just constantly tells me everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
I remember I fitted it to maybe a 450, and I spent 2 hours in the field, like complaining, trying to get it right. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, you can take off now. It's like, oh my God, I can do it. And then it worked perfectly. It did position hold, it did return to home, it did whatever. But just getting it into a state where it thinks it's okay to take off seemed to be enormously full of hassle.
It doesn't.
So enjoy.
It doesn't seem to like me trying to fly it. It's like
It's not what it's built for.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not for flying. It's for spreadsheet enthusiasts.
I would like to land now, and it's like you have to flick a switch for that. I'm like, no, I can land it myself. Honestly, no, you're too stupid for that. You're not in control. I'm a flight controller. I am in control.
Oh yeah.
It is flying it. If you flick the right switches, it might take a suggestion from you.
Yeah.
That is like,
Yeah, my suggestion was
postcode.
disarm, please, because you've crashed. And it says, I'm not disarming because I'm flying right now. I went back through the error logs, and it's like, no, overriding your decision to disarm, else I might crash. I was like, you've already crashed. You're still spinning your blades and cutting grass. No, I'm not. I'm flying. The robot knows better, apparently.
Seeing your foldable compact quadcopter there, Curry, reminds me. The other day I was watching Mission Impossible Fallout, which happened to be on, and there was a wonderful scene where they get this drone out, and it has clearly got a NASA on it, and it's like all this. I mean, it's a 2018 film, but I feel like everything on there was quite out of date, even in the hobby world by 2018. Like, it looked ancient, and but it was clearly meant to be the very latest, fanciest things that the agents were using. It's like, what is this? What is going on?
This is made of cheese.
NASA used to be so far ahead, though. It had its problems. For example, I think, unlike some of the V1s and lights, it's like the side of it was slightly translucent, and if the sun shone on it, then it would like heat up the barometer, and it would think everything's going wrong, and it was at a completely different height than what you thought, and you couldn't make it come down and disarm. But you can fix that by putting a piece of gaffer tape over it, and that keeps the sun from coming in. Well, mine worked. It always came back home. And
does it still work to this day?
Well, I don't know. After that one trip where I sort of took it round and did like a 10K hike with it, I was like, I'm not carrying this around again. And kind of the other DJI things got like a bit better for being smaller. So it kind of like, well, I don't need that anymore. But I'm enjoying the idea of taking old things out and seeing what will happen. Because you're like, I remember this is brilliant. And then you find out that all your old glasses are very, very rose tinted indeed. And it's actually completely pants to fly. But you can try it. I think that's the only thing I'd have to use my Tyrannus for, because I cannot remember how it's set up. All the mix channels have got like 4 positions for different switches and all sorts. It'll take ages to remember it. What are you waving at me?
A Tyrannus, my Tyrannus.
Is that a Tyrannus or is it Tyrannus Plus? Is it original?
No, it's the 2019 version.
I'll tell you what you need to do with that. You need to put an easy UHF in it.
Yeah, I
That'll
know.
be fun.
Yeah. Oh God, it didn't respond to my stick commands at the best of times. Sorry, I've got to go and make a drink. I'll be back.
Okay.
See, Richard Warwick in the chat has got another bit of movie madness. In Twisters, there's a right-wing drac featuring HD video to Sky Zone goggles.
Oh yeah, I did. This is the new Twisters. I did remember seeing that and like identifying the plane to my family, who somehow were less impressed. Why have you fallen off the Wi-Fi in the background? But yeah, he seemed to do like a real launch on it, from what I can remember. But then everything else is terribly faked. It's like whenever in any movie they do a video, like you must have this big flashing red thing in the corner, and you have to have this extra frame around it to say it's a video.
Mm.
But I kind of used it.
He got
Spoilers.
nominated for lots of awards, which is impressive,
Did it?
including visual effects. There we go. Maybe
All
that's okay. Worth a watch though.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Meh, it's all right.
Remake of a good film, they tend to be following the trend of, yeah, let's make some money, rather than it was such a great idea, we absolutely need to do it again.
That's what they do, because what happens is young people say, "I'm not watching that. It was out when you were young, so that must be crap."
But wasn't
So
the
they just
entire plot
remake
of
it.
Twister was like, ooh, tornadoes, they're very scary, aren't they? Oh, we don't want to go near them. Oh, let's run towards a tornado. Oh, no, tornadoes are very scary. Let's go away from it. And then they just kind of repeat that throughout the film with varying levels of special effects.
That's the way it works. Seems fair. So, very vaguely on topic, but the thing just came out on Netflix yesterday was the film about the sub that imploded looking for the Titanic. And as soon as they
OceanGate.
started talking about OceanGate, the carbon fiber thing, and you just like, that's bad. Carbon fiber bad. Lots of little strands, and they actually had. I mean, if your quad did this, you'd start flying it. They had microphones to monitor the carbon fiber in case anything had any noises, and it's like crack, 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 massive noises. You'd be like, I have to land now, and they should have been, we need to go up now, but sadly not. Yeah, carbon fiber, not a suitable thing for
It could
diving.
be suitable. Like, but I mean, I was going to say like the 787, but today's not the day to.
No, that
Is
is
that the
not the
problem?
No,
day
probably
to
not.
say that.
No, I mean, one of the things they did, which they told under no circumstances do this, is they left it sitting on the dock of somewhere in Canada over winter, and said you can't possibly let this go into 0 temperatures because it might expand and then water gets into it and that's going to crack all the fibers some more. And so that's what they did, left it out all winter, and then the next dive didn't go so well.
It seems like the sort of thing that should be. You should learn all these lessons in an unmanned vehicle for a decade.
Yeah, unfortunately, what you had at the head of this company is one of these rich, entitled people who doesn't like to be told no, and like fires people who like come up with sensible suggestions, like you should do this unmanned, see what it's like, or you should get this certified by other agencies. It's like, no, we don't need that. But that's veering off track slightly, but yeah, carbon fiber, not the best when it breaks.
Oh, yeah, that was difficult.
Speaking of
Logitech
safety-
controller.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Speaking of safety, next week I will not be around because I will be in Poland, where we will once again be having drones flying around manned aircraft while doing displays in front of the public, which is fun.
What, Poland's the only place they can do that legally or something?
No,
You
it's
can get
just
the insurance for it in Poland.
there is an event particularly in Poland, a big air show called Antidotum Leszno, where they do crazy things. Last year we were live streaming it using live streams from FPV footage and Mavic footage. in the aromatic box, and we're going to be doing the same thing again this year. So something to look forward to for me, anyway.
Do you have? Is there going to be a URL, or will it be on YouTube and stuff?
The rehearsals will go out on YouTube. The actual show itself, with all the pyrotechnics and flares and all that kind of thing, that will be on watch.planestv.com. That'll be a pay-to-view thing.
Pay-to-view?
Oh, subscription, yeah.
Okay. We'll get some. We'll wait for people holding up their phones, like really bad, dodgy pirate things in the movies.
Yeah, it will be shown on the video screens. So yeah, there'll be someone somewhere, I'm sure, with their phone pointing at the screen.
How are you doing, Stephen? You're muted. No sound.
From the aircraft.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there you are.
I got you.
Hey. I was just wondering how you do the video from the aircraft. Kind of, if you're streaming FPV stuff, what's your preferred rig for doing that?
So we had Antec on last year, was the FPV pilot, and will be again this year. So you can go back and watch the episode if you want to know all the details, because he knows a lot more details than I do of the actual.
I was just wondering if it's like
flight.
the usual kit, or if it's like, professional stuff that you need for decent streaming, or you can get away with just a bit of DJI or walk snell.
This
Whatever.
was 03. They've got some other kit this year, but we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I mean nothing magical or unusual.
I know that the movie people go for some crazy gear, but obviously you don't, strictly speaking, need it. So I guess air shows and stuff like this are a study in MVP, right?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, the ground cameras that we got are mad. Like they are. There's a lot of zeros on both the body and the lens, and there's multiple cameras and multiple lenses, and it's scary numbers to just be like hauling around on the top of a van and taking up and down a ladder. But it's been doing it a few years now.
Right. If you're looking at Blood's frames, I noticed he's got a new take your quite expensive ground camera and strap it onto a drone. Oh, and by the way, make it more crash survivable by removing all the casing. Because that'll help.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
also quite sensitive to things like building of voltages and
Yeah, I should think so.
yeah. I don't think the cameras we're using anyway would be liftable by anything that we could get hold of reasonably, and B,
Are you taking your invention?
not this year.
Your invention?
Well, we can talk about that after the show. Moving on, trying to desperately come up with something else to talk about. Have you been flying? Have you been doing anything? Have you been buying any new stuff? You seem to always have new kit to play with.
Is that a me?
Yeah.
Mainly just messing around with Home Assistant. I've been my tinkering has been limited to a variety of like sensors and IR blasters and things that I have variously hacked to make them under my control. And I've attempted to do some fan automation with an H bridge and an ESP that connects to Home Assistant. That was interesting. I've got complaints from the missus that her shed keeps getting damp, so I've got this like leak detector I was going to put in the shed. And I've also got touch panel on a very short cable. I can't quite bring into frame without ripping out something. Right. I've got like a touch panel that's going to work as a light switch. So it's like a little touch thing that's powered off right now. And then you can do the UI on there. Yeah.
NS panel,
just trying to... NS panel, yeah, that's the one. a quite nice little bit of kit, just a tiny little 4-inch Android device. Yeah, I thought I'd upgrade the home after thinking about doing it for a great many years. So bench is once again covered in crap, but this time it's not drone crap, it's home automation crap. Getting there.
Glad your panel's working. My stupid one won't like the examples to start messing with that. Like, hey, these don't compile.
Yeah,
like, don't they? No.
Dev
Oh, we're
boards.
looking.
I have been tempted for some ESP based kind of graphics controller things with, like, you could code up a dashboard, and I thought, I don't want to code up a dashboard. I want to press buttons and have things happen. So that's just got embedded Android, and you boot it up and it's just regular Android, and that's it. And there's no kind of let's figure out how a touchscreen works step. Someone's already done that for me, which is a massive labor saver.
The idea is there's this very nice software, well, alleged software, which now escapes my name, called a Squareline Studio, which uses this LVGL API to design your stuff, and then you can just do things like when that button presses, call this function, and then you can just do the function. But you export from there, and also that doesn't compile. So it's like,
LVGL was what they wanted to use for HTX for their new super fancy range of radios. I wonder if that's happened yet. They were making noises about, all those Ethos radios that came out, and they had their own special OS from Jumper. Oh, they had that special OS because they came out with new CPUs, and they weren't compatible with HTX. That was the main driver. But HTX was talking about doing that, and while they were doing that, they were like going to overhaul the UI and have it in this LVGL, more kind of abstract language that's easier to design widgets for. So it was just going to make that transition from being a basic text-based radio to kind of full-blown graphical, rather than basic.
I looked at a radio from RadioLink, and that uses LVGL. It was like one of their selling points. Like, uses LVGL. It's like, well, that's not really a user.
Yeah, you need a developer to.
Like, wow, we like that. Or no, I want my graphic libraries to be Vulkan only.
There was another RadioLink radio that came out which had Express LRS, but its own custom firmware, and it was a super budget one. So it's this weird sort of. It's super cheap. It's got firmware they're probably not going to develop because it's only selling at a really basic price point. And I was wondering, kind of in this day and age, who those radios go out to, because when you had your Turnigy 9X and it was super cheap, kind of had an audience for it because there wasn't really anything else in the space. But now you can get like an HTX radio for 50 quid. Under 50 quid, you can't really get a whole lot of radio. So is there room for alternate firmwares? I have the
feeling that the sort of the traditional modelers that fly in flying cubs on their line of sight and like to do circles round and round and round probably haven't moved on from things like Spectrum and Futaba. And perhaps that sort of thing appeals to them because they're like, look, this switch doesn't have to be dual rates. I can also make it something else. Like, this is a new thing. It didn't come out 15 years ago.
I noticed you're flying more than 30 feet away from you and haven't failsafe, Frank. Yes, I've got a new radio. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's still a lot of like you say, there's a lot of Spectrum. There's occasional bit of Futaba, but there's a lot of Tyrannuses. A lot of
Tyrannuses.
They're still going, unless they bin their jack, in which case they get filled with gunk and then repaired until they don't work anymore. We know you're on a secret mission to kill as many Tyrannus as you can, Jack.
It feels like, yeah.
It's a covert operative.
To the point where I like, people ask me to update that, and I'm like, no, I'm not. There's either there's something wrong with me, or there's something wrong with HTX.
The first thing you must know about me before I work on your Tyrannus is I'm sponsored by Radio Master. I'm just going to leave that there. Now, if you'd like me to upgrade the Tyrannus, I can do it.
Yeah. I don't know what I did to it, but it weren't happy.
I don't think we got around to explaining the reference I made about you and Dom's quad last Friday.
Yeah.
We went out for a fly, and Jack had meticulously maintained Dom's quad after however many years of neglect. And Jack had made sure that on his bench in that room with that view that you can see there, it worked perfectly and was all great. And took it out. We were out in the field. Dom plugs it in and tunes in. And, can't see anything. Can see the OSD. It's just blank. There's no image.
Oh, that's how it's meant to be.
Jack's, they're opening it up, checking things. Like, oh no. Turns out, it's just Jack had tuned the camera to work perfectly in that completely unlit scenario you see in the image in front of you.
I work by sense of smell.
It was bright white.
I am the mole man of the.
It was very accurately showing a white image because it had just been set to overexpose for anything more than
an
a candle in the
LED.
distance.
No, you're flying this too early in the day, mate. It's not acclimatized. It's a crepuscular quad.
I've speaking of which, I have made a FPV music playlist on YouTube Music. Now,
Was this just ESC tunes?
No,
Tunes
but
to fly to.
I have, yes. And
Has
I
he just
would like...
high-rated the danger zone on repeat?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is it Top Gun?
I
learned to play that Top Gun theme on guitar. It's gloriously rewarding in the cheesiest possible way.
The Final Fantasy.
Not Danger Zone, but the guitar solo one that they open up with. It's so cheese.
Take my breath away.
Amazing. No, there's it's called the Top Gun theme, and it's just like one really long naff 80s guitar interlude. I wouldn't call it a solo because it's not particularly flamboyant, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, if anyone uses YouTube Music, let me know. And please, let me know. It starts off a bit dubsteppy. It starts with like the classic FPV music that was in some of the popular videos of back in the day. That sort of like weird dubstep, trying to skate around royalty freeness. I'll paste it here.
There was one tune Sorry, I was just had a brain fart. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in with me and my brain fart.
No
I mentioned Bloods earlier, and he put some interesting tunes on his videos, and one of them was there's a Friction remix of "Need Someone" by The Prodigy that is absolutely awesome for flying to.
Send it in. I can add it.
Does anybody actually listen to music whilst they fly? Because I'm I want to hear, especially if I'm in the woods, I'm listening out because I'm always lost. Which way in my quad? That way. If it gets noisier, it's coming back to me. If it gets further away, I should turn around.
Yeah. How did you find flying with me and Dom, Frank? Was it all right?
Yeah, it was good fun. I mean, your quad, as you discovered, is quite intimidating.
He's
very
ruined
loud, very
one of my
fast.
batteries.
And I feel like you've got your classic rates set up of either nothing or 1,000,000 degrees per second.
I don't remember Jack ever having crazy rates.
I don't. It's some sort of weird legacy thing that these guys persist with.
Yeah, Jack has normal rates. I've flown Jack's squads a bunch of times.
Well, last time I flew any of Jack's quads, he had some weird expo setup of it being like it did absolutely nothing in the middle, and then you just get to some point where all of a sudden it just goes mad. It just goes.
I think that's the default. I think maybe it's Jack who's normal, and you're just
Maybe.
not.
How
Maybe
many
you're the
degrees
one with
per
the
second is
strange
it now,
rates, and you
Jack?
haven't noticed
What
all
is
this
the
time.
current rate?
Okay, let's plug in. All right, hang on. You ready? I
Can't
will.
remember.
Let me just as everyone. Let me just share my screen. I might just stop.
Oh, there was a thing. That was a
I
thing.
did select beta flight. Thank you. I did. I definitely did.
You can do it.
Oh, the extra long. The extra long cable is not wasted on me. Let's find out how many people. I will admit I am deeply what are my rates in it?
PID tuning. Yeah, it's under PID tuning.
I don't think they were like over 1,000 a second or anything. It was just like,
There.
No, they're tiddly.
yeah,
That's slow.
yeah, that's pretty sane.
Mine are normally like 1,000.
Say, I
Yeah.
have not flown Jack's quads since some years ago.
So
Yeah,
the default rates with Betaflight are like 667 or something
700,
like
aren't
that, or 700 degrees per second. So that's slower than the defaults.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't particularly the rate, the max rates that was the problem. It was in the center of the stick. It was just like you could move it around and it didn't do anything.
That's the point, because you want to capture smooth footage, so you don't want to capture like, otherwise you get this when you're trying to fly in a straight line, it picks up on any, like it picks up on the
I get
pulse in your thumb.
some degree of smoothness, but there's smoothness and it stops being a gimbal and
Stops
starts
reacting until
being,
you get that far out.
starts being just like a
Cole
fork
seems
changeover.
to agree. He says Jack's kiss rates were bananas.
Yeah, but we discussed this, man. Cole. And we both agreed they were too high. Now the Kiss V2 quad, that's what those rates are, and I do find them a little bit too low. So I'm slowly creeping them up, as you just saw. I put them up to 82. I agree. Look, me and you, Cole, if you were to come on this show, come join Discord. You got 5 minutes left. We discussed this and we both agreed. It's the same reason we discussed this, and I now use sessions. You know.
You have to admit, Jack, that when you were not flying your quad and someone else was flying your quad for a change, it's an intimidating thing to be around, isn't it?
I mean, those props. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Now remember that it wasn't being flown so close to you that it bumped into you.
Yes. Yeah, I do like.
Whereas when you're flying, we have to dodge it.
Yes. I do like getting involved, personally.
Yeah.
I do try and
Have
communicate.
you got the footage from your first flight from Friday? I think it was your first flight.
Do we really wanna?
Do it. Do it.
Okay. We're gonna go there now. It's all right. I can handle. What was it?
No one was hurt.
No.
No.
I don't know whether the audio will come through on this.
I feel like we gave Dom a good feel of the range of available FPV experiences in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, DJI FPV on a LR4 to your 6S, however many KV mad crazy thing.
I've changed the flight controller out on this. So this is, I think this one is the Sky Stars, but with the Fox repaired ESC that had bits taken off it because the other one was on fire. Just so you know. That's it. That's the first flight. I see no problem.
Yeah, that seemed fine.
Yeah. Nothing wrong. I think
what I'm taking away from this is Frank is a very careful flyer. That's what I'm taking away from this.
Yes.
Which flight was it then where you ended up landing on Dom?
Not on, more in.
Yeah. Well,
Worse.
Suits you, sir.
off axis says we see nothing. I don't think this is going out to the world somehow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh well, we can comp it in later. It doesn't do a great job in terms of frame rate, so maybe it'll get slapped on by the editor or something. But yeah, it seems to be doing a nice job. Little flips and whips around, and yeah, trying to go under some tree branches, and yeah, not quite managing that.
That's the same one.
Warming up.
Yeah.
Warm up battery.
All right. We'll go to episode 2.
Oh, of course, because it's you'd have to add it as a source in OBS, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It is very choppy, very bitty. I'm very sorry. And I did do some mild gardening in order to be able to... There's a lot of straggle within that trees, and it's now pretty clear because I went there and cleared some stuff out. Sorry, it's like watching a slideshow on this. Does make it look like I'm going way faster than I actually am. So I'll take it. But yeah.
It should be alright on OBS though, shouldn't it?
No.
No.
Because I'm
You're still pumping it all through Discord, and guess Discord says no.
Yeah, playing it, then Discord's encoding it, and then I'm re-encoding Discord in order to send it out to these guys. So it's horrible. I can upload it and I can share it on the LDO Discord if you want.
I mean, there is video coming through, but I'm going to say it's several frames a second, probably not more than I have fingers per second.
Yeah, but Dom had a go. Dom had fun.
Yeah, if you want to watch the full
seems pretty
quality
sensible
footage, you'll have to subscribe to Jack's YouTube channel and wait patiently
about
for
6 years.
Several years.
Yeah. Cole, do you want to edit this? It's already uploaded to.
What's all this editing? Like, it's an FPV reel. Just put the whole thing on YouTube. You know, cut the bit where you get stuck in the grass off the end, and cut the getting your radio comfy bit at the start, and shove it on.
Because I do it, and then Cole complains.
Well, that's his problem. Yeah.
Because I don't do it at the correct size and stuff. Look, Cole is a dear friend of mine. I don't like upsetting him.
Yeah.
And
you do normally have to upscale it because YouTube is like, oh, okay, that's a 1080p video. Let's call it 720p.
Yeah.
Because it's crap like that. So you have to take all the footage that's 1080p and upscale it to 4K so that it actually comes out looking like 1080p again, which is kind of annoying.
As long as you get up to 1440, it uses a different encoder.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely this kind of Rubicon that's crossed. And all of a sudden things look okay on YouTube. That seems nice. Nice area you've got. Trees to mess around.
Is this near you, Jack?
Yeah.
Have I seen Oscar do test flights around here?
Yes, this is exactly the Oscar test grounds.
Yeah, looks familiar.
I do miss Oscar. I have to admit.
What's he up to?
Can I talk about it?
Probably not.
Not doing FPV stuff then. Busy.
Yes, he is.
He's been posting. He was posting about the new LR4 with the O4 system on.
Yes. Yeah, I have to.
Still doing.
And it didn't look like he was incarcerated, so
Yeah, just
All good.
heavily monitored. There you
This
go.
is Still
Nothing-
not the one, Jack.
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. I mean, it's a very careful landing. Like, I don't think anyone even flinched when he landed.
No, that was
I
fine.
just
I
slide
think
it.
What happened that
you-
destroyed your nerves to this degree, Frank? That's turned you into the shattered ball of anxiety around Jack's flying.
No, Frank's.
Well-
I'm not going to bullshit here. Frank's got a totally valid point. I can't.
Without any warning, just like shoots underneath the trees, like between us, standing like.
I do
feet
say
apart.
don't move.
You didn't this time though. Like multiple times you would. You'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly past." This time there's no warning, just like full throttle. It's like- after that, we're just like.
The worst is when
Cover
I
up
do
all
it backwards,
extremities.
and then Frank's angrily
Backwards.
looking at my
Nice.
camera, shaking
see.
his fist. Yeah. I'm sorry, Frank. I shouldn't do it after all the traumatizing stuff that we've seen and experienced. I should know better.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Naughty, naughty man.
Yeah, I know. Don't shout at me, Frank. Shout, because that is being a bell end. I should know better. But I do. It was really hard, like flying with Dom, and he and sort of like viewing Dom as old school with us, but then realizing that Dom, it's been so long for Dom that he's forgotten everything.
He didn't forget how to fly though.
Yes, that was the only saving grace. If he had done that, Frank and I would have had to have like taken a hand each and just taped it and just like worked him like it was quite difficult. I was just like, oh, I don't know. I just kind of, I'm like, look, when I started, Dom flew. Dom knows his stuff.
But no longer.
Would you edit it, Cole? It is already uploaded to Google Drive. If you want to just slam it together, you can.
It's youtube.com bright until I fly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, or if
Till
you...
as in placing the shop where the cash goes.
No, I
Not-
think I've rectified that stuff.
Have you?
It might. I don't know though. I might not have. Hang on. How do I find out? Hang on.
It'll be in the description. It'll be down there somewhere.
Yeah, I might. I've slowly gone round. No, yeah, I fixed it. It's 1L, but the email is definitely 2. There's nothing I can do about that, which is terrible.
Wanna sign us off then, Jack?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, let us know about the YouTube playlist, music playlist. If you can, you listen to it, you like it, please review it. It'll mean the world to me. Also, what will mean the world to us is if you become a lovely Patreon, and then you might hear about things that Frank refuses to talk about on the show, and you might see a occasional video of me tapping Dom's foot with a drone. It's on the DVR, I'm sure. let me dig out the DVR. Yeah, so if you can become a Patreon, it means that we can pay for editing, hosting, StreamYard, we should send them an email being like, we're
Are we
paying
going to
for
get a
this
refund
shit.
from StreamYard?
I know, like, it can't get any worse. It's shit. What the fuck are they doing? Also, Tony's car is up for sale. So if you'd like to buy Tony's car or rent Tony's house, because he's given up, he's selling up and moving to Singapore or wherever the fuck he is. Yep, he's given up. He's had enough. He's done. His quads are all for sale. Tony's been nice knowing ya. You've been cheating on me for the last time. You're divorced. You're a disgrace. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. Thank you to all our wonderful Patreons. We would scroll your names, but StreamYard says no.
Imagine that there's a bunch of names across the bottom and that you're all very, 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 very awesome for supporting us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You've been joined by everyone's favourite Curry Kidden,
Bye.
Andrew/Frank, the home assistant, Stephen,
Goodbye.
and I've been Bright Till I Fly. Thank you to everyone in chat. Cole, we miss you. You should have came on. Caroline, hopefully I'll speak to you on Discord soon. And good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.